Optional features and riders for annuities. So annuities can have a lot of optional riders that you can attach to them. And these riders are a way to kind of change the benefits and what the annuity is doing for you, but they also have a downside in that they have an additional cost associated with them. So there are many different riders that you can choose from depending on where you buy your annuity, but some of them include enhanced guaranteed income streams, additional death benefit options. You could have, there's also tax features like tax deferred growth that are beneficial for annuities. And finally, there's other options that I didn't mention in the text that could relate to disability benefits or kind of long-term care benefits. That they're not exactly long-term care, but they could help provide additional income payments for people with assisted living or nursing home needs. But these are just some ideas that you could potentially look at for getting enhanced annuity benefits through riders. I would like to expand on two of these, and those include the guaranteed income options and the tax deferred growth idea. So to begin with, guaranteed income. So we talked about in the text, I wrote a lot about annuitization. And the way annuities used to work with traditional guaranteed income is that they would take whatever you wanted to start the income payments, they would figure out how old you were and how long you were expected to live and what interest rates were at the time. And they would take that, there's a formula, and they would basically determine how much they could pay you in benefit payments for the rest of your life. That was called annuitization or annuitizing your contract. And it was pretty strict. So once you started it, you didn't have any other options to change it in many cases. So there's not a whole lot of flexibility associated with taking income benefits as annuitizing your annuity contract. However, if you were to use the newer benefit options like a guaranteed minimum income benefit or a guaranteed minimum withdrawal benefit, so that's GMIB or GMWB, then they give you more flexibility in how you take your benefit options. So the way this works is there's another kind of bucket of money, or at least another formula being calculated as your annuity is growing. And this number could be used to calculate a potentially a higher income benefit whenever you're ready to start. So once again, this is only for deferred annuities. This is not for immediate annuities, but it's for deferred annuities. So in the last section, I mentioned that variable annuities, they could potentially lose money in the markets, and how that seemed contrary to what the whole annuity idea was in the form of protection. So if you added, for example, a guaranteed income benefit to a variable annuity, then even though your markets would cause your account value to fluctuate, you got this other number that may not fluctuate at all. So this other guaranteed benefit, it wouldn't decrease in value. The only way it could decrease in value is if you were to actually take money from your contracts, like actually withdraw money from the account. But instead it would just increase, and it increased in a couple different ways. Many of them, depending on where you buy the annuity, it has actually a guaranteed growth rate, and that could be anywhere from 3 to, it used to even be as high as 8%. But usually it's somewhere in the middle of those, and they may grow, it could grow that high per year until you start your actual benefits. So what that means is it's kind of like having two horses in the same race. So you got this one that's growing by, let's call it 6%. All right, so you got one that's growing by 6%, sort of guaranteed, and you got your other horse that's actually in the market, and it's going up and down, up and down. And depending on which one kind of outruns each other, when you get ready to take your benefit payments, that could be the number you're calculating your retirement benefits off of. So you got kind of two horses in the same race. Now these guaranteed minimum income benefits can be added to fixed annuities, indexed annuities, and variable annuities. It just has to be a deferred annuity. But it could give you more increased options in how you take your benefits than just simply annuitizing your contract and being locked in for the rest of your life. So the second idea that I want to expand upon was the feature of tax deferred growth. Now, if you remember when I talked about different account types, tax deferred growth was kind of something for retirement accounts. And you can actually have an IRA that is a retirement account. So you can have an IRA, an IRA that's an annuity. So you can have an IRA annuity. So if you did this, annuities also have tax deferred growth, but IRAs already have that. So you're not getting any extra benefit from kind of doubling up, you know. But if you had a non-retirement account, you invest that money into an annuity, then that could give you tax-deferred growth. And there are some benefits to this. And those benefits are, let's say you're in a variable annuity again, and that means you got the mutual funds and you're swapping them out, you're buying and selling. Well, instead of having them being taxed in the year that you change them, with a variable annuity, they're actually delayed or deferred until retirement. So that could be a really good thing if you're trying to lower any taxation in even your non-retirement accounts. All right, so there are a couple downsides to this idea. So non-retirement money, typically, you know, it's not designed for retirement, it's not meant to, but if you put it into an annuity, then you're kind of locking it away until later in life. You are locking it away until retirement. And that's because annuities, if you try to take money out of them before 59 and a half, which happens to be the same age that when you take money from out of retirement accounts, if you try to take money out of them early, then you could get faced with a penalty. So you don't want to have any penalties in the concept of finance. So we don't want any penalties. So if it's non-retirement money and you think you're going to be using it anywhere in the near term and you're not 59 and a half, then it may be best not to put that into an annuity, at least just yet. So you're eventually, you're locking it away. In addition, that money is now going to be taxed at ordinary income rates. Now, if you had non-retirement money in just a brokerage account, it would actually be taxed at either short-term or long-term capital gains rates. And short-term capital gains is basically ordinary income, so that's kind of the same as the annuity. But long-term capital gains are usually much less, so they could be 15 or 20%, where your ordinary income tax might be 25 or 30%. So overall, your taxes might actually be higher, even though you're delaying them later on until retirement. And finally, annuities aren't the best thing to pass on to your heirs. So if you don't actually end up going through and using this income payment stream to pay out the benefits to you, and if you just leave the money sitting there and kind of die with it there, then it may not pass to your heirs as efficiently. But we'll talk more about that later on in the course. And I look forward to sharing in the next section. I look forward to sharing some of the potential concerns to be aware of in regards to fees and things in the annuities as we close out this course.